Good evening, you're watching Mission 2024. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Let me quickly take you through the headlines. Opposition MPs allege phone hacking by government agencies after an Apple alert. Government dismisses charge, says hacking alert issued in 150 countries, not just India.
Compulsive critics in our country. Their only and only job is to criticize the government as and when they wake up, as and when they find an opportunity.
Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar booked for alleged false and politically motivated remark on Kerala IED blasts. BJP cries foul, claims false case against Chandrasekhar. Aam Aadmi Party Mantri Aatishi slams ED summons against Delhi's Chief Minister, claims BJP will get Kejriwal arrested soon after questioning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi pays tribute to India's freedom fighters as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav culminates with the Kalash Yatra in Kartavya Path.
25 वर्षों में हमें अपने इस भारत को समृद्ध बनाना है, हमारे भारत को विकसित बनाना है.
Temporary respite for TDP chief in the skill development scam. Chandrababu Naidu walks out of jail on 4-week interim bail on health grounds. Israel expands Gaza ground assault on day 4 as firing escalates at the border. Israel hostage soldier rescued from Hamas.
Question continues to remain: what happens after 5, 6 days, 7 days, 2 weeks, a month? How long is it going to go on for? Because remember, the hostage crisis continues to fester and simmer. It has intensified, like we first reported here on India Today.
Several opposition leaders have now made some very serious allegations against the central government that it was attempting to hack their personal phones. Several MPs shared screenshots of Apple notifications on social media to back their claims. But the BJP has dismissed the charges, saying the charges are completely baseless. The government has also now ordered a probe into the entire matter. Here's more.
Snoopgate 2.0 hits Indian politics. Rahul Gandhi, Shashi Tharoor, Mahua Moitra, Priyanka Chaturvedi, Akhilesh Yadav, Asaduddin Owaisi and many other opposition leaders on Tuesday alleged that they may have become targets of hacking by government agency. The opposition leaders shared screenshots of mails and text messages from Apple, warning them against state-sponsored attackers trying to remotely compromise their iPhones. Shiv Sena MP Priyanka Chaturvedi wrote letters to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah demanding an investigation.
We would need to understand who's at the bottom of this. Like I said, 2 decades of using Apple, I've never received a message which is so serious. And coming from them, I think we should be alert to what is happening, whether it's state-sponsored from the government or wherever they think it is happening.
Congress MP Rahul Gandhi claimed that the opposition is being hounded by the Narendra Modi government for speaking out on Adani Group.
जैसे ही हम अदानी जी को टच करते हैं, इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसीज, स्नूपिंग, सीबीआई, मैं पहले सोचता था नंबर 1 प्राइम मिनिस्टर, नंबर 2 अदानी, नंबर 3 अमित शाह. एक्चुअली ये गलत है. नंबर 1 अदानी, नंबर 2 प्राइम मिनिस्टर, नंबर 3 अमित शाह. अभी हिंदुस्तान की पॉलिटिक्स हमें समझ आ गई है और इसीलिए सारा का सारा हो रहा है distraction politics.
The Modi government dismissed allegations of snooping on opposition. IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw stated that an investigation is ordered, but pointed out that similar notifications were received by Apple users in 150 countries.
There are many compulsive critics in our country. their only and only job is to criticize the government as and when they wake up, as and when they find an opportunity. We have already ordered an investigation, and we request each and every person who has received the advisory to please cooperate with the investigation and make sure that we go to the depth of the matter.
It's complete nonsense that the opposition leaders are trying to propagate. It will be very interesting to get to the root of the matter, and has asked Apple to join the investigation. और दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा.
Apple has issued a statement. The iPhone maker clarified that it does not attribute the threat notification to any specific state-sponsored attacker. The company added that the notification alert could also be a false alarm, and they are unable to provide information on what causes such alerts to be sent out, as this might help the attackers evade detection in future. The one question being raised is why only opposition leaders and critics got hacking alerts. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's cut across right now to senior Congress leader Mr. Pawan Khera, who's joining us on the bulletin. Appreciate you speaking with us, Mr. Khera. The question is, Mr. Khera, yes, many of you and many of members of the India Alliance have received this particular notification from Apple. But why do you directly, immediately link it to the government snooping on you?
You know, last time, the last round of Pegasus at least had some people from the ruling party like Ashwini Vaishnaw and others also whose phones were affected by Pegasus. This time around, it's more brazen. It's only opposition. So that's why I think we have reasons to believe that it's only targeting the opposition leaders.
No, but Mr. Khera, that's incorrect, because it's not just the opposition. You have Mr. Piyush Goyal, who on certain sources have gone ahead and claimed that he's received a similar message. So it's even those who are in the government who've received this message.
Ask him to reveal that, ask him to show that message to all of us. We would be happy to see his mobile also. Ask him also to surrender his mobile the way they expected us to surrender our mobiles to any investigation. Ask Mr. Piyush Goyal to surrender his mobile also to investigations. There will be a lot of interesting stuff coming out, I must tell you.
But Mr. Khera, these are serious allegations. Leave alone Mr. Piyush Goyal if, the Alliance, India Alliance or the Congress doesn't want to buy that he received the message. But the fact is also there are many who are not in public life, who are not politicians, who are on either sides of the ideological divide that you might want to suggest. Even they have received this message. So in all, to claim that it's the government involved and carrying out operations of snooping on the opposition, are you getting a little ahead of yourself?
Well, these are repeat offenders we are dealing with. I mean, snooping is something which, even when these people were in Gujarat, were very well known for their snooping abilities and inclinations and tendencies. So, everything is verified in any case. It's for the government now to come clean. Why are you spending taxpayers' money on snooping on your own opposition leaders? I mean, this money could have been used for Agniveers, the benefits for which have been denied to Agniveers. You please don't waste money on us. Take away our mobile phones if you think we are doing something against you. Take away our mobiles. But don't waste taxpayers' money on snooping us.
But Mr. Khera, why the grandstanding, and trying to milk it politically, some would suggest? 150 countries, across 150 countries, people have got a very similar message that possibly you have on your phone. Now, does this also mean that the BJP is spying on 150 countries?
I mean, I'm sure there are different governments. It's not just Mr. Modi's government which indulges into such activities. I'm sure other countries also have similar governments. Some elected, some unelected, but they are, these tendencies are there. So why is Mr. Modi arrogating to himself the power to snoop in 150 countries? Is that his intention? I mean, what kind of an argument is this? We are interested in ourselves, our country, our Prime Minister, our government. They need to be answerable to us, to the citizens of India. How am I interested if somebody is snooping a phone of a Maldivian person or a Pakistani national? I'm not interested in that. Indian people's phones are being snooped upon by the state actors. Who are those state actors? I demand to know.
The point being that, the point that I made with 150 countries, Mr. Khera, is that this is a message that has come to not just you, they've come to people across 150 countries, and then to substantiate that this is a state actor, which even as per Apple's explanation is not. It could very well be a malfunction or it could be a fake alarm. So they really can't justify that. But having said that, the BJP and the government says that you're running out of political fodder to attack the government and, on cases which are valid. So you're making these accusations.
What is routine about it? I mean, I don't understand. Why is it routine that the opposition leaders and some journalists get this message popping up on their in their inbox? Why? How is it routine? Today, they asked me, why don't you change your phone? I'm sorry, I'm not interested in changing my phone. I'm interested in changing this government which does this to me and to others.
All right. Okay, Mr. Khera, appreciate you joining us. Thank you there. We're going to come back for more updates where the story is concerned. A keen eye on all developments. Joining me is now Poulomi Saha, joining me from the national capital with what the government is saying in terms of the allegations made by the India Alliance, and Ayush as well, our technology editor, who's going to tell us exactly what this message really means. Does it really mean that the state is spying on you, or is it something routine which happens, or can happen? Poulomi, what is the explanation given by government sources on why only leaders from the opposition have got this message?
Preeti, this is, of course, a matter of investigation. The government says that they've ordered an inquiry. It was, of course, said in a press conference earlier this afternoon by the Union Minister for Information and Technology, Vaishnaw, when he, of course, spoke with the media in Bhopal. So an inquiry has been ordered. They say that they will reach out to Apple, of course, to provide them with data as to why exactly were these threat notifications sent out to these specific users. Though, of course, Apple says that they don't want to, reveal, as per what they put out on their website, the cause of why these threat notifications have gone out, because then it would be alerting the said state-sponsored attackers in a way that they could adapt themselves to better protect themselves from any sort of detection in the future. But of course, if a government approaches, the case could be completely different. They, of course, have said that all of these members who have, in fact, raised the red flag should just wait for an inquiry to be conducted. Though, of course, the minister did point out to a notification, an advisory which was sent in by Asserting in July this year itself, which basically said that there are certain vulnerabilities as far as iPhone users are concerned, and everyone should be aware of the same, because their phones, their devices could be susceptible to some form of attack or another. So they should be taking a lot of precautions, the same kind of precautions that Apple, in fact, puts out on its website for those who have been attacked as a result of state-sponsored attacks. In terms of two-factor authentication, changing your passcode, downloading your apps only from the App Store, etc., etc. Preeti.
All right. Poulomi, one quick question before we let you go. You've had Piyush Goyal, who's come out and said that this is a possible malfunction on certain other, platforms. He's also suggested that he's also received the same message. Has anybody from the BJP and the government also received a similar message?
Well, Preeti, Piyush Goyal, of course, was referring to others that he knows of. It's not Piyush Goyal himself. Others that he knows of who are not in public life, who are not public representatives, who in fact have received this message. One of them, of course, Mr. Samir Saran, who is of the ORF, has come out himself, and he said that he's received this threat notification last evening as well, around about the same time that everyone got this threat notification. If you look at the screenshots, they're all tweeting of these notifications from between about 11:45 to 11:47, when they all received it simultaneously. This is, of course, a matter of investigation. It will have to be investigated as to how exactly did this happen. Was it an algorithm malfunction? Whether it was, something very specific in nature? Only Apple can answer that at the moment.
All right, appreciate you joining us. Thanks, Poulomi, for giving us on what the government is saying, and especially the BJP, who's called it nothing but a figment of the India Alliance or the opposition's imagination that the government's trying to snoop on them. Ayush, I want to bring you in. Now, what's happened is that in the afternoon, you had a explanation of sorts which was released by Apple, but that's not very different on what is already on their website, where certain messages like this, when they are given out, what it really means.
Absolutely, Preeti. Look, that was a clarification that we got here on India Today and Tech Today as soon as we reached out to them. And honestly, given what was happening in the Apple cycle of things, there was a major event with the launch of their devices earlier this morning, and they did respond shortly after some of these social media posts went public. Now, in terms of what happened, I was listening to your conversation and very pertinent points raised out there. The original messages, which were screenshots shared by some of these persons, said that state-sponsored attackers may be targeting your iPhone. Now, the clarification says Apple does not attribute the threat notifications to any specific state-sponsored attacker. It doesn't really clarify whether a particular state-sponsored attacker was involved. Who is a state-sponsored attacker? Like you were saying, does it mean that it doesn't necessarily allude to it being the government as well? So it is a general statement, quite vague if you ask me, but they have also alluded to points of there being false alarms and some attacks not going detected. This has happened before, it's happened in 2021, but this is a company in the larger tech space that takes privacy and security very seriously. If we go back to 2016, we know what happened in the Apple and FBI case where the San Bernardino shooter's iPhone had to be unlocked. And I think the company resisted those claims right till the end, till a third party was brought in. And if you had more than 10 failed attempts at opening that encryption and that password, the phone all the data would be eliminated. So I feel like, there's a lot more to come in this particular story. And more importantly, after IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw's press conference, the fact that the government has gone out there and said that an inquiry will be initiated and Apple will also be brought into this and a lot more things will come to light in the coming days, Preeti.
All right, well, let's see what really comes to light. Till now, there's going to be a massive political slugfest. Ayush, appreciate you joining us. Well, food for thought. Till now, at least prima facie, it does seem that only opposition leaders have received this particular message, with Apple warning them of possible state or non-state actors trying to hack into their device. But having said that, you've had Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, who on a different news platform has said somebody like a Piyush Goyal has also got this message. But having said that, we're going to keep a keen eye on all developments.